Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tom Novak, and welcome to Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors. I'm going to show you what I do with my winter storage of my trees. Today is the 21st. It's Thursday afternoon, late in the afternoon. Today we're going to talk about ants, gnats, and the lemon tree. When I bring in my trees, for example, my lemon trees, I keep them outside on the ground so they get loaded with ants on the inside of the container. They get in there, and every year I had a heck of a time getting rid of them. But this year, what I did is, here's the pot, and then I put diatomaceous earth around the pot. This is the tree in the middle. And as you can see, with the diatomaceous earth around the pot, this really shows that the ants are pushing out the soil so they can get out and forage for food. But by doing that, they step into the white powder, and they drag in the white powder into the colony, and it helps kill them all naturally, because diatomaceous earth is a natural insecticide. I put it about a good inch around the pot, on the outside of the perimeter of the pot, maybe inch and a half depending on the size of the pot. And the diatomaceous earth I use is a safer brand, and it kills cockroaches, ants, fleas, silverfish, earwigs, and bed bugs, and it does a pretty good job. Just follow the labeled directions. I got my plants in the basement, so my pets aren't usually around it. It doesn't bother the fish, but if you think you're sensitive to it, just wear gloves or a little face mask so you don't breathe the dust. But to me, I just sprinkle it around, and it works out pretty good. The diatomaceous earth is a powder, and if you can see on the inside, that's the way it looks. It's just looks like talcum powder, but it's a powder that you put around your trees. I don't put it on the inside, but then what I do is I let the trees dry out a little bit. I keep them on the dry side. And before I bring them in, I prune the living daylights out of them because they're so big it's hard to get them into the basement. But I keep them on the dry side. This way here it keeps out the fungus gnats. And these little gnats that fly around your plants, they lay their eggs into the soil, and it takes like 2 to 3 generations of gnats before you eradicate them all. But I found an easy way of doing that. I get the sticky traps. You can get them from Arbical Organics, Gardens Alive, Amazon. And what you do is you take the trap out. You got to be very careful because this is super sticky. I mean, very sticky. And when they ship them, they usually put them at 5 at a time in a bag. So what I do is I take a chopstick that's got a hole in there that you can punch out if you want to hang it. I don't know if you can see it. But what I do is I just take an ordinary chopstick. I place this one has the paper. It's got both sides has the paper on. You take the paper off on one side, try to center your chopstick in the middle, peel it off, and now you got a nice trap to catch your insects on. Now, to prove a point, you'll see on my one tree, you can see how it traps the bugs, and it gives you an idea how much infestation you have on your plants. So this will catch them. It'll catch the ants, it'll catch the gnats, and anything that's flying or crawling or attracted to the yellow. Now, before I do anything, I'm going to put this trap into one of my lemon trees here that I've brought in, and it goes in pretty solid. Just got to watch it's sticky. Now, my lemon trees, they like a moist soil with good drainage. They like a soil of 5.5 to 6.5. But if you don't have an acid soil, a good potting mix with a good drainage is pretty good. I usually mix like a 50-50, 50% potting mix and 50% perlite, and then I put in some worm castings, and I also put in my beneficial bacteria from Extreme Gardens, the mycos. And I'll tell you what, the trees work out pretty good. And what I really do with them before I bring them in is, they say that lemon trees are not cold hardy like the citrus trees, but these babies survived 32 degrees, 31 degrees when the arthritis flared up and I couldn't walk. These babies took off, and these aren't store-bought trees. I grew these from seed. This tree is a little over 10 years old, and the one in the back is the same age, only that one, I started these trees as seeds, and I gave one to a friend, and this one I grew out every summer outside, and my friend grew it out in the house. So you can see usually the difference between this one and this one, how much bigger it grows when you put them outside. Now there's some dead branches on here. I'll prune that, but I'll show you the soil. I got it completely dry, and I just give it enough water to keep it alive, so that now when it's starting to get lighter a little bit every day, you can see now that it's getting new growth, like up here, and on the other one you can see the new growth coming out over here. So they back bud pretty good. So what I'm going to do when I get done with these, after this video, I'm going to put these trees on the floor and give them about 2 gallons of water and just flush them through, give them a good drink of water, because I don't know if you can see the buds starting even coming out of the trunk, the main trunk here. And you can see the root system on this one. I haven't repotted these in over 2 years, so what I'm going to do now in the spring, I'll give it a Dr. Earth, a 022 or an 002 root formula fertilizer, and I'm going to also use the beneficial bacteria and sprinkle it on the top. And then I'm going to let this grow, because right now it's in a dormant state for a good 2 months, and I'm going to bring it out, and I want it to get a lot of vigor. And if I can find another pot, I'll try to put it in a better pot, and I'll show you how to do that. But it's real easy to grow a tree from seed. I mean, look how nice it is. Now I know you're saying, well, I might not live that long. Well, you can always grow some little ones. Just get your seeds, soak them for a couple of days. What I do is I soak them, rinse them, soak them, rinse them, and then I'll repot them. And I'll try to do that in the next video. I got some seeds soaking now. This way here they'll start to sprout and they'll hydrate. I had a package of seeds that, and I take the seeds out of the lemon, so usually if they go to the bottom, they're alive. If they float, they're dead. But I let the other seeds, I had like a 50-50% where half of them sunk and the other half floated. But then after a couple of days of rinsing, the other trees started to go down, so maybe they're still alive. Maybe they got something in there. But you can grow a lemon tree. It's not hard. It's just, this is just ordinary potting soil that I use. I mean, I couldn't afford all the fancy soils to make a big bonsai tree out of this, but you can see the roots on this baby. She's good and strong, and I got one over here. She's about 35 years old, so it's in a big pot, as big as this table almost, and about that deep, so it's very difficult to move. But if I can move it in one of my, after the seed video, I'll show it to you and show you how I clip it, because she's a survivor, and she survived at least 30-degree weather outside. So sometimes I just threw a blanket over them, and then when I was able to bring them in, I brought them in. So it's Thursday night. Try something different tonight. Just sit down with your wife, your loved one. Turn the lights down low. Put on YouTube. They got some nice scenery where they got the stars in the sky and a little campfire going outside, and sit back and relax. Have a cup of tea and don't think about nothing but relaxing and enjoying each other's company. So you take care, and thank you for coming to my video. My name's Tom Novak, and thank you for coming to Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors.